What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Peace, peace. How you feel? How you feel? It's Merch Life J, motivational, inspirational speaker for parentpreneurs across the globe. You already know. Today's Impact Meeting is entitled The California Gold Rush, man. The California Gold Rush. You can't give up. Stop giving up so early, man. So look, I want to tell y'all a story. I read a really good book. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? And in this book, there's a character. He's not a character because it's not like fiction or whatever. But it's actually a nonfiction story inside of a self-help book. But anyway, so in the book, there's a guy named Harvey. His last name is Harvey. So his whole name is R.U. Harvey, right? And we'll just call him Harvey for short. In this book, there's a story about Harvey. Harvey had an uncle, okay? He had an uncle that was involved in the California Gold Rush, meaning he went to California in the early days before it was California. They I don't know if this was before or after it was Cali, actually. But they basically struck gold there, right? So he found a vein of an ore and was like, oh my God, I found gold. Let's go back east and get some equipment so we can dig up the gold so that we can bring the ore to the surface, right? Right. So that's what his uncle did. His uncle said, let's go get the equipment. Borrowed a bunch of money, got a bunch of business loans, did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Probably massaged some feet. I don't know. They was weird back then. Got his money, came back to Cali, bought the equipment, and they started to dig for gold, right? And they found some gold. They had the gold popping. Everything was good. They started paying off their debts. They started paying back the people that allowed them to borrow the money to get the equipment. They paid back their workers. You know, everything was good, man. Everything was good. And now they're at the point where it's all about to be profit. So anything they make past this point, since they paid all of their debts and they paid their employees and they took care of everything they needed to, anything that they make past this point is now profit. So this is money they can spend on themselves. They can do whatever they want with it, right? And then the gold runs out. Right after that, the gold runs out. There's no more gold now. So there's no more gold, meaning you're digging and it's just rock. It's just ground. It's just dirt. It's just whatever else is under there. It's just that. There's no more gold, right? So eventually, they keep digging and they don't find anything. So they're like, let's pack it up, fellas. Let's get up out of here. This mine is dry. There's nothing here. You know what I'm saying? There's no more. We're not getting any more money out of this situation. But we own the equipment. So we're not really, losing money by being here. But whatever. We're losing time, but whatever. So they end up selling all the equipment. Excuse me again. They end up giving all of the equipment back to some junk man, right? He's a junk man. He collects like metal and, stuff like that. They sell it to him for $200, right? After they borrowed thousands to buy it and then paid back those thousands. They sell the equipment for $200. They go back home. Everything good. The junk man calls them immediately. I mean, not them. The junk man calls the East for a mine inspector guy, right? The guy that comes through and says, yeah, it's cool to shut this joint down. You're right. It ain't no gold around here. Little do they know, man. The mine inspector comes to the junk man's mine. And he's like, yeah, there's some gold in here, bro. Oh, yeah, it's definitely gold in here. He's like, how? It's gold right here. Look. 3 feet from where Harvey and his uncle stopped digging. It was actually a gold mine of gold. So the story goes like this, right? The junk man buys the equipment from them. He goes digging himself. The mine inspector man tells them, hey, there's gold in here. He goes and finds that gold. Now he's a millionaire. the poor junk man that used to only just buy metal and try to scrap it and do things of that nature, right? He the one that ride around with the pickup truck and get all the bunk beds that are put out for the trash and refrigerators and microwaves and stuff like that. He's that guy. So he goes from that to being a millionaire off of gold that he found in this mine just because he got somebody to evaluate it before closing it down, right? So now he's a millionaire. So the guy Harvey and his uncle, originally they see this happening and they're like, oh snap, we was 3 feet away from gold. We could have had some gold. We could have been rich. We could have, all of our dreams would have been came true. We could have, man, listen, man, could have bought the whole block. But they gave up too early, right? They gave up way too early. So in determination to learning from that lesson, right? What does Harvey do? Harvey goes and starts in a life insurance company and becomes one of the top grossing companies of his day. Now, this was in between 1848 and 1855. So look it up. But the bull Harvey, I'm sorry, I keep saying Darby because I'm from Philly. But the bull Harvey ends up, excuse me once more. He ends up becoming one of the richest life insurance agents and agency owners in his day. And what does that tell you, man? What is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that your toughest times are the times when it's the best time to keep moving forward. If Darby would have said it was easy in the beginning, you know, it's a little rough now, it's a little tough now, I'm going to just throw the towel in. No, I ain't going to throw the towel in. I'm going to keep going. If he would have said, let me continue just a little bit, even just the rest of that day. If he would have worked the next day, he would have found that goal. He was only 3 feet away from it. He was only 3 feet away from it. Then that goes to show you that giving up too early can really change your situation for the worse. But there is another angle to this. There is another angle to this. Because once you realize what you missed out on, that's going to drive you to go get more from your other source, get more from a different source, get more from a better source, get more from another lane. Because remember, the highway got more than one lane in it, buddy. We all in different lanes, but we might all get to the same destination. You feel me? We might all get there if we stay focused. If we do what we're supposed to do, regardless of what lane we're in. So remember that, man. Don't give up too early. And if you end up throwing in the towel and losing out on something you could have had, it's always enough for everyone. Just think about it like this. God does not run out of resources. So it's always going to be enough for everyone. I'm Merch Life J, motivational, inspirational speaker for parentpreneurs across the globe. You got to watch the replay, baby. Get excited, though, man. Subscribe to Merch Life Network on YouTube. You already know.